For years, people said that if there was one couple in Hollywood who would never have their private fights turned into public spectacle, it was Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. They were too controlled, too discreet, too careful. They knew the rules of fame. They knew that microphones don't always turn off when the light goes red. They knew that in their world, privacy was not a right, but a performance. So they performed it well. They smiled, they held hands, they spoke in gentle metaphors about communication and trust and meeting in the middle. They walked red carpets like a promise that love could survive the machine. And then, one night, a camera caught the one thing they never rehearsed. Not the kisses, not the awards, not the carefully curated anecdotes. The collapse. The raw, unfiltered, venom-laced, exhausted truth of what happens when two people run out of ways to pretend they're okay. And the worst part? They didn't even know they were being recorded. Not that night, not in that room, not when they finally stopped performing. It started with a hum, the low, almost inaudible buzz of the home security system resetting after a brief power flicker. The kind of glitch you ignore in a house full of expensive machines. The kind of sound nobody notices, unless they spend their life listening for signals. Nicole didn't hear it. Keith didn't either. They were too busy breaking. The fight had been building quietly all day. It started in makeup chairs and rehearsal rooms, in half-finished text messages and ignored calls. In the subtle, silent tension of a couple who can feel the crack forming long before it becomes a fracture. Nicole had been on set for 12 hours. Her body was tired, but her mind was worse, full of borrowed grief and scripted rage, emotions that belonged to a character she wasn't ready to let go of when the cameras cut. Keith had been in the studio trying to finish a song that refused to cooperate. The lyrics kept collapsing halfway through, like there was a sentence his soul wanted to say, but his brain wouldn't allow. When they finally came home, they both wanted the same thing. Someone who would make everything softer. Instead, they bumped into the sharp edges of each other. Dinner was quiet. Too quiet. Nicole ate in small, distracted bites. Keith poked at his food, eyes distant. "Long day?" he asked eventually. She gave a non-committal hum. "You?" "Yeah." Silence, again. The kind that isn't comfortable. The kind that hums with all the things they're not saying. Keith tried again. "How's the shoot?" "Fine." "How's the song?" "Fine." "How are you?" "Fine." The third "fine" was the one that finally snapped. Keith set his fork down and said, too softly, "You haven't been fine in months." Nicole's jaw tightened. "Can we not do this tonight?" "Do what?" "This." "What is this, Nick? Talking?" She sighed, tired, irritated, guilty, defensive. "You always pick the worst nights for serious conversations." He laughed once, no humor. "There isn't a good night for feeling like your wife left the marriage and forgot to mention it." She flinched. It was too sharp, too direct. But he didn't take it back. "You know that's not fair," she said. "I'm not trying to be fair," he replied. "I'm trying to be honest." There it was, the word that always ruined everything. Honest. Honesty in their world wasn't clean. It wasn't kind. It was a scalpel. And tonight, he was done operating gently. "You disappear," he said. "You slip behind your eyes, and I feel like I'm talking to the woman you're playing, not the woman I married." She set down her wine glass a little too hard. "You knew who you married. You married an actress. I married a human being, he shot back, not a role. And yet somehow the role is what feeds this life, she said sharply. The role pays for the cameras that watch our front door, and the staff that keeps this house from falling apart, and the security that makes sure no one climbs our fence to get a photo of you in your pajamas. Yeah, the role does all that. So why's the role the only one who's allowed to have feelings? She stared at him, stunned. What does that mean? You only let yourself feel when there's a script to protect you, he said. You cry when a director calls cut. You scream when there's a camera. But with me, you go still. You go polite. You go empty. Her lips trembled, just barely. Don't mistake my silence for emptiness, she said quietly. Then talk to me, he begged. Say anything real. She opened her mouth, and something ugly came out. Something she would replay in her head again and again when the world finally heard it. Okay, she said. Here's something real. She met his eyes with a cold, aching honesty. I'm tired of being your redemption arc. The sentence hung in the air like a blade. Keith's expression shattered. That's what you think you are? My redemption arc? That's what they made me, she snapped. The interviews, the profiles, the magazine covers. She saved him. Her love healed him. The woman who fixed Keith Urban. Do you have any idea what that did to me? That wasn't my narrative. You benefited from it, she replied. So did you, he shot back. She stared at him like he'd slapped her. Are you serious? Yes, he said. You got to be the strong one, the saint, the woman who stayed. The world worships women like that. You think I wanted to be the broken project everyone whispers about while praising you for being patient enough to put up with me? She exhaled sharply. Don't you dare turn my loyalty into vanity. Don't you dare pretend you didn't lean on it, he replied. Her hands curled into fists. You want to know why I'm quiet? She said, her voice low, dangerous. Because the second I stop being the calm one, we're just two people screaming at each other and the myth dies. And what if the myth needs to die? He said. What if we're choking on it? Then why are you still here? She demanded. Because I love you, he said, voice cracking. Because I don't know how not to. She laughed once, a choked sound. You love me, she said. But do you see me? Or just the woman who kept you from burning your life down again? Don't do that, he said softly. Don't reduce what we've survived to some savior complex. Then stop acting like I'm abandoning you every time I ask for space. Your space feels like punishment. And your need feels like suffocation. There it was, the real fracture. His fear, abandonment. Her fear, engulfment. Two people whose worst nightmares were each other's survival strategies. So what? He asked. You want out? No, she said. And the word was so soft he almost missed it. I want room without being treated like I'm halfway out the door. Then stop living like a guest in your own marriage, he said. Her eyes flashed. And maybe you stop living like my emotional landlord. That line would be quoted later, clipped, looped, memed. It would become the soundtrack to their downfall. They just didn't know it yet. Up in the corner of the room, the security camera's tiny green light blinked back to life after the earlier glitch. It started recording automatically. No one noticed. Nicole stood. "I'm not doing this with you tonight," she said. "Of course you're not. You never finish anything hard." She spun around. "Excuse me?" "You walk out. That's your move. You leave the room, you leave the conversation, you leave me standing here feeling like a fool for wanting us to be something more than this. This cold, polite ceasefire we've slipped into." "This ceasefire is the only thing that kept us from killing each other some nights," she snapped. "Maybe some things should have died. Maybe that would have been cleaner than whatever this is." Her voice dropped. "What are you saying?" He looked at her, eyes shining. "I'm saying I don't recognize us anymore." She swallowed hard. "Maybe you never really knew us to begin with." "Tell me who we are then. Tell me, Nick. Tell me what this is." She hesitated. Then, slowly, heartbreakingly, "This is two people who keep choosing each other and resenting each other for needing it." The silence after that was deafening, and the camera caught every second of it. The fight escalated from there in ways neither of them would later fully remember.
That's the cruel thing about arguments. You recall the headline, not the footnotes. You remember the one sentence that left a mark, not the 20 that built to it. But the camera remembered. It remembered every flinch, every accusation, every bitter laugh. It remembered Nicole saying, "Sometimes I feel more alone with you than when I'm actually alone." It remembered Keith saying, "You weaponize distance better than any screaming match ever could." It remembered her voice breaking on, "I'm scared of you relapsing emotionally into the man you used to be." It remembered his voice turning raw when he replied, "And I'm scared of you turning into a ghost who lives in this house but left years ago." They didn't know in that moment that their worst fears were being archived in perfect digital clarity. For now, they were just two people in a kitchen at midnight, holding sharp words like knives and hoping they could cut away the rot without touching the heart. They failed. At one point, he said something he regretted as soon as it left his mouth. "You only stay because you like what our story looks like from the outside." She stared at him, stunned. "How dare you?" she whispered. "It's true," he said. "You like being the woman who survived it all. It gives you something to talk about in interviews." Her eyes filled with tears she refused to let fall. "You think I use your pain for press?" she asked. He hesitated. That tiny hesitation destroyed more than any shouted yes could have. She wiped her face with the back of her hand. "Then you don't know me at all." She picked up her phone. He thought she was calling a friend, or a driver, or her agent. She wasn't. She was looking at herself in the dark screen, at the faint reflection of a woman she didn't recognize. "Do you want me to leave?" she asked quietly. "No," he said instantly. "Because if you do," she said, "say it. Don't bleed me with suggestions. Don't hint. Don't bait me into being the one who walks out so you can tell people I abandoned you. If you want out, say the words. I don't want out. I want you in." "I am in." "No," he said. You're hovering. You're halfway in every room you're in."
"There is no version of me," she snapped, "that doesn't feel like too much or not enough to you." The camera watched them burn. Both of them would have torn the lens out of the wall if they'd known. Instead, they kept going. Until finally, somewhere between one exhale and the next, something small and fragile inside both of them broke. The fight didn't end with a slam or a scream. It ended with something worse. A sentence. From her. Barely audible. "I don't like who I am with you when we get like this." He stared at her, stunned. And then, soft as a confession, "I don't like who I am with you when we get like this either." They looked at each other. Two people who loved each other so ferociously that it sometimes curdled into something unrecognizable. "I'm going to bed," she whispered. He didn't follow. He stayed in the kitchen, sunk down against the cabinet, hands tangled in his hair. The camera caught that too. The collapse, the shaking, the way he whispered over and over again, "Don't leave. Please don't leave. I don't know how to do this without you." No one was supposed to hear him say that. But someone did. Or rather, something. A server, a cloud, a glitch, a vulnerability in a system that had been installed to keep them safe from the world. It failed. Or did exactly what it was built to do. It recorded. It saved. It waited. And then, weeks later, someone found it. The leak didn't happen right away. That would have been almost merciful. Instead, it came on an ordinary Tuesday morning, months later, when the fight had been patched over, when the wound had scarred rather than healed. Nicole was on another set. Keith was on another stage. They were back to holding hands in public and talking about communication and resilience. They were doing what they did best, pretending the hard parts had turned into wisdom instead of residue. And then a producer walked over to Nicole with a look she didn't recognize. Not admiration, not deference, not the nervous excitement people wear when approaching someone famous. No, this look was softer. Pity. "Have you checked your phone?" She frowned. "No, why?" He hesitated. "Something's trending." Her stomach dropped. Years in this business teach you something important. Nothing good trends unexpectedly on a Tuesday morning. She stepped aside, out of the lights, out of the way, and unlocked her phone. It was already buzzing. Dozens of messages, hundreds of notifications, group chats lighting up. She opened the first one. It was a link. She didn't click it. She opened the second. Same link. Third. Same. There was no context, no explanation, just the title. Leaked. The private fight that shatters Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's perfect marriage. Her blood ran cold. She clicked. The video was grainy, but clear enough. The angle was wrong for a phone. Security footage. Her own house. Kitchen. Midnight. Her. Him. Every word, every syllable, every break. She watched herself saying, "I'm tired of being your redemption arc." She watched him say, "You only stay because you like what our story looks like from the outside." She watched herself ask, "Do you want me to leave?" She watched him whisper on the floor, "Please don't leave. I don't know how to do this without you." The comments were already a wildfire. Millions of strangers dissecting their worst night like it was content. I knew they were faking it. Wow.
She's cold. He's emotionally manipulative. No, he's just hurting, you can tell. She's sick of being his savior. He guilt trips her so hard. She's gaslighting him. He's trauma dumping. She's done. He's broken. They're over. They're human. Nicole felt like she was watching her own autopsy. Her phone rang. Keith. She answered. He didn't say hello. "Have you seen it?" he asked, voice strangled. "Yes," she whispered. "How did they get it?" he asked. She closed her eyes. "The cameras." He swore under his breath. "I told you we didn't need that many." "I thought we did. For safety." "Yeah," he said, bitterly. "We're real safe now." There was a pause. "Nick," he said. "Yes." His voice broke on the next words. "Do you hate me?" She blinked. "Why would I hate you?" she whispered.
"Because the world just heard me accuse you of using my pain for press," she swallowed. "And heard me tell you your love feels like suffocation," she said. "I don't have the moral high ground here." He exhaled shakily. "They're tearing us apart," he whispered. "No," she said quietly. "They're eating what we gave them." "We didn't give them this," he said. "Didn't we?" she replied. The silence that followed was heavy, because in a way they had. They hadn't published the footage, but they'd built the stage, the house, the cameras, the career that made their private pain marketable. They had built the machine. The machine was simply doing what it was fed to do. Keith's voice shook. "Do you think it was someone from the security company?" "Maybe," she said, "or someone hacking us." "Maybe. Or," he hesitated. "What?" she asked. He swallowed. "Or someone who had access to our system," he whispered. Her heart stuttered. "Keith," she said slowly, "are you asking me if I leaked it?" There it was, the question she never thought he would voice. "I'm asking if you sent it to anyone, in anger, in therapy, as proof?" She almost dropped the phone. "No," she said, horrified. "No, no, never. I didn't even know it existed." Another pause. "Did you?" she asked. "What?" "Send it to anyone. For help. For context. For sympathy." He didn't answer right away. That was enough. "Oh my God," she whispered. "Keith, I didn't leak it. I swear to you, I did not send that video to the press. But I did send a clip, once, to my therapist." "Your therapist?" she repeated. "Yes." "You sent our fight to your therapist?" "One part of it," he said, desperate. "A minute, 2 at most. I blurred your face, changed the audio a bit. I needed someone to see what I meant when I said you go so still, it scares me." She felt numb. "You used me as Exhibit A." "I used us," he corrected weakly. "Us. I never imagined it could. Nick, I swear to you, I didn't know the full file would." Her voice went very quiet. "You broke the first boundary." He went silent. She continued.
"You opened the door," she whispered. "You normalized the idea that our private moments are data, evidence, material. That's not fair." "It is," she said, "because now whoever leaked this, They didn't just hack us. They followed a path you already walked. You took our marriage to a third party as a file. Now that file has an audience. So this is my fault? He asked, voice rising. Is that what you're saying? That I did this to us? I'm saying you made it possible, she replied. He laughed once, broken. That's rich, he said, from the woman whose entire career is built on selling emotion. She flinched. There it is, she whispered. There's the resentment. It's not resentment, it's reality. You cry on screen and the world calls it art. I cry in a kitchen and the world calls it content. And who sent them the content? She asked softly. He went quiet. Neither of them spoke for a long time. The world did. Headlines multiplied. I'm tired of being your redemption arc. Nicole Kidman's brutal line to Keith Urban. You only stay for the story. Urban accuses Kidman in leaked footage. Is their marriage a lie? Body language experts break down the fight. Therapists react to Nicole and Keith's viral argument. Everyone had an opinion. Strangers diagnosed them. Fans defended them. Haters celebrated them. Friends texted them. Their daughters stayed off their phones. For the first 24 hours, Nicole refused to watch the full video again. Keith watched it 3 times, then threw up. On the second day, their teams called. PR reps, lawyers, publicists. We can frame this as a moment of human vulnerability, someone suggested. We can focus on your commitment to working through hard times, someone else said. We can spin this as a powerful message about the reality of marriage beyond the Tylenol. Or, another voice added, quieter, you can say nothing at all. What do we do? Nicole asked Keith that night. He looked exhausted. I don't know, he said. Do we tell the public the fight made us stronger? Did it? She asked. He opened his mouth, closed it. No, he admitted. She nodded. Then we don't lie, she said. We can't tell them everything, he replied. We can't bleed on command. She smiled sadly. Too late, she said. We already did. The cameras saw to that. He exhaled. Do you hate me? He asked again. She sat down beside him. No, she said. I hate that we live in a world where a moment like that is more valuable than anything true we say on purpose. Her voice went softer. And I hate that part of me feels relieved. He frowned. Relieved? She nodded. Because now it's out there, she said. The myth is broken. The curtain's down. We don't have to hold up the perfect image anymore. The world has already seen the worst of us. He stared at her. That's the worst? He asked. She hesitated. No, she said quietly. Not even close. But it's the worst they'll ever see. He thought about that. Do you want to fix this? Us? She looked at him. Really looked at him. At the man whose brokenness she had once held like a calling. At the man whose stability she had later resented like a prison. At the man who had just watched his deepest fear, being exposed in his most vulnerable moment, play out in public. I do, she said. He exhaled, shaky with relief. But not for them, she added. Not so we can stand on a red carpet and say, we survived. Not to prove anything. Not to rebuild the brand. Then for what? He asked. For the 2 people in that kitchen, she said. The ones who were begging each other not to leave, even as they said the ugliest things they could find. He closed his eyes and whispered, and what if we can't fix it? She slid her hand into his. Then we'll at least know we tried without an audience. They sat there, side by side, not healed, not united, but honest. For once, the cameras were off. For once, the only people seeing them were each other. Outside, the world kept arguing about what they'd seen. Inside, the very people at the center of the scandal were finally asking themselves a question no headline could answer. Do we love each other enough to survive being seen this clearly? Neither of them knew yet, but for the first time in a long time, they were willing to find out, without performing it, without pretending, without editing. Just two flawed people in a house that now felt too wired, too watched, too fragile. Two flawed people who knew this much. The night the cameras caught everything wasn't the night their marriage ended. It was the night the performance did. And whatever came after, it would be real, even if it broke them.